Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday, and it's time for Pop in Politics. We are talking about the latest in hot topics, news, and entertainment. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my amazing co-hosts. Of course, we have Crystal Jenkins.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, and Shelly E.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Yes.
Anybody notice something different about KJ's background?
No, yeah, I finally put my books up. I have more, but this is just what I can throw on there for now.
It was looking like Bidenomics. It was looking like Bidenomics.
Yeah, so thank you for noticing that, Crystal. I know people have been mentioning it. So yes, I have books. In a new space, so I just had to put my stuff up. Finally got it up this weekend. So there it is. All right. So as I normally say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. Also, if you miss us on YouTube, you can always listen to us on Apple Podcasts, or you can also listen to us on Spotify. You would just check for Pop in Politics. We're also on Rumble, so you can find us there. Again, we are an independent media, and if you want to support what we do, donate. We certainly appreciate it. You can go right to our website at www.popandpoliticslive.com. Also, you can super chat with us tonight. We love our super chatters. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for it. And certainly, if you have it on your heart to do that tonight, certainly super chat with us. Again, this is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people. And we understand that the importance of freedom, especially in these times, freedom is of most importance. And we have a target on our back because we value freedom. So we're building a community here of freedom-loving patriots. And each time you subscribe, each time you super chat, it does amplify this rallying call for freedom. So we certainly appreciate it. All right, everybody, let's set it off, ladies. How are you all doing tonight?
Good.
Just ready to get into it. Oh my God, there's so much.
Yes.
Going on.
Absolutely. So much is going on. So we're going to get right into it. We are starting out tonight with the Oscars. So kind of a little bit about the Oscars, also talking about Hollyweird and how they're losing it over Trump right now. And so it all kind of culminated with the Oscars that aired last night. So I want to start out with Robert De Niro. He was on the Bill Maher show, and he pretty much had a meltdown about President Trump. So take a look here. I'm going to play this, and then I want to get you guys' response to what he actually said here. All right.
And
can you hear it?
I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Nothing at all. Nothing redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and they look like intelligent people around there. Somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be.
Aww.
He wins the election. You won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me.
Here they go.
They're laughing at him. They're laughing at him.
Things that happen that none of us can imagine.
All right. So that was Robert De Niro, actually one of my favorite actors, and he's losing it over Trump. I want to get your thoughts on this, Shelly. What do you think about what he said? Does it have any kind of relevance and validity?
Let me say this. Robert De Niro, he is in the perfect profession. He is an actor because in real life, he's really a bitch. That's what he is. That's what it is. So he's in the perfect profession to boost up his persona. You know, people think they identify with him as a tough guy, and he does play those roles very well. Take nothing from him. But in real life, his man card has long been torn up. He is a pussy. He's a pussy cat, a bitch. That's what he is.
Yeah, Crystal. I mean, when you're shocked, I know he's been a long time Trump hater, but what do you think about what he said?
It's on cue. I mean, like the elites are y'all not tired of this? Like seriously, like the elites are on cue. You remember they told us this in 2016 that the whole world's gonna fall apart. World War III was going to happen when Trump was president. All this nonsense. And it's all because, like I said, Trump don't respect these people. Like, seriously, Robert De Niro has got Napoleon complex. He's just a short man. He's mad that Trump is tall and rich, and he didn't have to sell his soul, or as Cat Williams said, have his booty hole violated in order to be famous. Like, Trump didn't have to do that. And so I am not surprised at all. The elites have had it out for him, for real.
Yeah, I mean, and did you catch what he said? I wouldn't even play him because his soul is so black. I mean, I want to just talk about the characters that Robert De Niro has played.
Exactly.
He was a violent, convicted rapist in Cape Fear. In Taxi Driver, he was a mentally unstable veteran. Goodfellas, most of his career, he played people who were homicidal maniacs, street thugs. And he's saying he won't play Trump because his soul is so black. I mean, come on. This is crazy.
You have to understand, again, these leftists, it's a religion. It is sort of a derangement syndrome, not with Trump, but a lot of these leftists, particularly people like De Niro, who want to really be Trump, who want to be like Trump, they are really infuriated within themselves. They know how small they really are. They know they don't have the character and the guts in real life. So all they can do is play the part and pretend to be the people that they really admire and want. This is nothing but this, what do you call it? Projection. That's basically what it is. He's projecting what he really wants to be, and he's upset that he really cannot really be Trump.
Yeah, I think I agree completely with Shelley. Like these Trump deranged syndrome people, like it is so bad because everybody loved him. You remember they were asking him to guest star in movies. He was celebrated on The Apprentice. Then he came and did a Celebrity Apprentice. Like he has always been in the culture with the elite. And then when he walks away and becomes a Republican, like they keep attacking him and saying that all these things are going to happen. And they have such audacity because all the things that they keep saying was going to happen under Trump happened under Biden, and they don't have the humility to say, oh, you know what, maybe we were wrong. They keep saying it, and honestly, you guys, if y'all are not smart enough and hip to the game yet to realize it, then I don't know.
Yeah, right. I mean, and they're shaking in their boots right now. Now it's still very early. It's still very early as far as the campaign, the election in November. But I mean, recent polls are showing President Biden continues to lose a crucial support among Latino voters, an increasing number of those voters saying they are more likely to vote for former President Trump. This was in the New York Times poll of all polls.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Again, this is nothing but, like projection, maybe even reverse projection. But these are the type of people, Robert De Niro types, they really are angry because Trump really is Trump in true form. Robert De Niro only hopes to be and knows that he never will be. He wants the courage and he wants the charisma that Trump has, and he wants the boldness and the bravado that comes naturally to Trump. It should come naturally to New Yorkers, because I love New Yorkers. But that's what it is. It should come naturally to them, particularly male New Yorkers. But he doesn't have it. Somewhere along the line, that that bravado of New Yorkers just passed over Robert De Niro, so he can only do good acting. That's all.
Yeah, it really is. it really is sad to see him go out like that. Like, because
Yeah.
I mean,
he's like, I mean, I know you guys talked about him being an actor, but he is serious. I mean, he is so deranged in this, so obsessed with this Trump stuff. You know, you heard the stuff he's saying. He feels like he's going to lose his job and Bill Maher is going to lose their job. I mean, who cares about them? Really?
And none of this happened. Exactly. Like, none of this happened. So this is a unique situation, you guys. Like, usually when they were telling us in 2016, we really didn't know. And so, you know, a lot of these things we really thought were true. But now utilize your good sense and see that they're trying to play you, because I mean, none of this happened when he was president. So let's not believe that it's going to happen now. He did a good job. He did a good job, Robert. Mr. DeNiro, sorry, Trump did a good job. You were wrong.
That doesn't matter to them. That does not matter. They are, I would maybe even deranged. They are wusses. They are cowards, and they know that Trump is true. He is the real deal. And why would Bill Maher even lose his job? The only way Bill Maher will lose his job is if he starts lying. He's trying to scare Bill Maher, because lately Bill Maher has been not so much that he's lied before, but he's been more and more, even more truthful. And that, look, they are afraid. They are very afraid.
For sure.
Yeah, it's also losing your job. I mean, people actually lost their job under Biden. You know,
Exactly.
Look at the medical staff in places who lost their job because of they refused to give over to their medical. They have medical freedom. They lost their jobs. I mean, look at all these businesses that were shut down during the COVID. When we found out they didn't have to be shut down, they lost their job. I mean, the list goes on. Police officers lost their job.
People have lost their job because of the minimum wage increases.
Right.
People, like, all these policies, all these Democrat policies hasn't helped anyone. And like I said, instead of them saying, you know what, he did a good job, and really just being honest with the people, they're just going to keep with this lie. But my hope is that it doesn't continue to work.
Yeah, same here. Well, keeping along this same line, I want to talk about this interview that came out, I believe it was yesterday, with Congresswoman Nancy Mace and George Stephanopolus. So she was talking to him in an interview. He's really cornering her in this about her support for Trump. And he's basing it on the lines of saying that Trump was convicted of rape. She is a rape survivor. She's a victim of rape many years ago. And he's kind of trying to make it seem like, oh, well, how can you support Trump if you were a victim of rape? Take a look at this. She gives it to him, though. She gives it right back to him. I want you guys to take a look at this interview. All right, here we go.
What separates a good one?
Oops, 1 second.
From a great.
That's got to play first. 1 second, guys. All right, let's see here. Thank you so much for our super chatters, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Robert play a child abuser in the movie. What's he say? In the movie This Boy's Life. At least Trump doesn't get paid to be someone else. Stick to what you're good at. Wishing the three of you a fantastic week. Stay blessed.
Thank you. You're so right. Yeah.
I mean, Robert DeNiro, really would probably be in the top 10 of people that have played some of the worst characters you can imagine. And he's talking about, I would never play Trump. Oh, he's too black. His soul is too dark. Come on.
We need that check. He need that check. Trump don't need that check.
All right, here we go.
Victim of that rape. How do you and for defense and two separate juries have found him liable for Trump for president? Judges and two separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not going to do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about
no, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim. And I find it disgusting. And quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy, it makes it harder for women to come forward.
Good for her.
That was
good for her.
So appropriate. So appropriate.
I mean, what do you guys think? Shelley, what do you think of that? He was shaming her. Before you start, he was definitely shaming her because they didn't show it. But prior to him beginning the speech, he talks about her giving a speech, a testimony on, I believe, the Congress floor about her past rape. So he was referencing that. And then he talks about how could she support Trump for the accusations that have been brought about him by Jean Carroll. He was definitely shaming her. I mean, what are your thoughts here, Shelley?
Nothing is off the limits ever for the left. There's no place, no area, no personal attack, if you will, or personal circumstance that they will say, no, I won't go there. That's number one. Number two, these are the same people, George Stephanopolus and the left and the other media, these were the same people who were screaming, believe women, me too, believe women no matter what. Women have to be protected. When you have a woman here who was raped at a very young age, but raped nonetheless, and then you're going to compare her voting choices. What about the voting choices of the millions of people or the people that you support that say suck babies out of women's bodies, suck them down the sink? But why don't those two go together? How come you never mesh those up? These people have zero sense of decency and just a sense of morality overall to treat people with dignity. They don't. If it's political, if it's to their political benefit or they think so, they will go for it no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. I felt like she handled it very, very well because I would have lost it because the nerve of this man, like you look like a pedo, George Stephanopolus. You seriously do. I was really shocked because typically he is a little bit more professional, but like even the tagline, Trump has been accused of 18 women. Like, first of all, she has moved on from that. That happened when she was young, and you bring it back up and then you relate it to her political affiliation. Like, dum-dum, she's a Republican. Would you like her to vote for Biden? And second of all, like she said, Trump is not being accused by 18-year-old or 15-year-old. He's being accused by a deranged woman. Unfortunately, E. Jean Carroll is a psychotic, seriously. And I don't care if she gets mad and tries to sue me because I see she's trying to sue everybody else. She's psychotic. And then she makes a joke about what she's going to spend. And then she's a kook that accused several other men of raping her. So yes, this is not the same situation of a 15 or a 16-year-old getting raped. And for him to try and make that comparison is utterly disgusting. Shame on you, George Stephanopolus.
Yeah. What about all the women that accused Bill Clinton, right? Yes, I think Juanita Broderick had the most credibility. But what about they swept that under the rug? Exactly. They literally went after these women.
And not only did they sweep it under the rug, but Hillary Clinton swept it under the rug and helped them cover it up. Exactly. And the same can be said about the whole Epstein Island. They're criticizing this woman for giving a vote, to President Trump. And all of this other stuff is going on with Epstein Island. We still haven't gotten the information regarding that, but there were several people who were very comfortable with Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell. None of these people have been questioned for their affiliation with these people. Not even a question of it. Not even a question.
Exactly.
They went after the women who who accused Bill Clinton. They had the force out to embarrass these women, to scare them,
put them in jail. Monica Lewinsky, they tried to put her in jail to protect their
All these women, like you said, Clinton called it, I think she called it a vast right-wing conspiracy. You know, they libeled and labeled these women, all kinds of stuff. And I think someone put in the comments that George Stephanopolus was Clinton's right-hand man. He was.
Exactly.
Yes, he was.
And they said, don't forget Tara Reid. And it's so true. Like, I just think about all the women. And then like Trump actually was the one that he said Clinton's a nice guy. You remember he was talking about it. He was like, Clinton's a nice guy, but he's going to be in some trouble, because even Trump knew the trouble that Bill Clinton was in with all these women. And then you have the audacity to accuse, like, seriously?
Yeah. And just the way he phrased that question.
Yeah,
he phrased it, the way he came at her, it was very unprofessional. Very unprofessional. But she gave it to him just as good as he gave it.
Good for her.
Yeah.
But my thing is that she's a Republican. So it shouldn't be any surprise that she, who do you want her to endorse? Like,
it was a sleight of hand, because now I could see to some degree, if let's say Trump was actually advocating for rapists to be released from prison. No, I could see something like that, but it had nothing to do with anything. They didn't even go together, his question and her rape. What about talking about releasing people, all these Democrats and progressive politicians who are actually releasing violent criminals from jail, rapists, murderers, who mostly harm women, who do a lot of damage to women? What about these trans people who have dicks but pretend that they are chicks and actually harm biological women? Oh, that's hands off. That's hands off. These people are slime.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. Pure slime. And I'm so happy Nancy Mace handled it the way she did. And I hope this gets more publicity. I'm sure it won't, because anytime something is done to a Republican woman by the media, or for that matter, by anyone on the left, they just overlook it. They move on. But
you need to boycott.
Boycott
his show. Boycott his show. Seriously, that was unacceptable and so many levels wrong.
Yeah, it certainly was. So I want to continue to move on. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have a couple more topics to discuss. Again, this is our Monday night pop-up, Poppin' Politics. We are generally on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us here on Poppin' Politics. Again, you can check us out on our on Poppin' Politics on Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts. We're also on Rumble, and you can check us out on our website at www.popandpoliticslive.com. Yes. All right. So we are moving right along to our next topic of the night. Let me see here. All right. So I want to get into youth. And we're seeing a lot more violence within our youth population as of late. There is a viral video right now going on. Apparently, this was in Missouri. Let me see here. Let me pull this up. So before I pull this up here, so it was a Missouri teen girl is left in critical condition after high school mob beat down in a fight. So it's shocking footage. Apparently, this teenager is in critical condition. The fight broke out at about 2:30 p.m. Friday near Hazelwood High School in Missouri. Video of the incident circulated on social media, showing another girl bashing the teen's head into concrete after throwing multiple punches and sending her careening into the ground. Please, before I show this, I do want to say it is a very shocking. So please be careful as you watch this. So let me see here.
It broke my heart.
Warning, yeah.
Look. Get her in, Penny.
Ragdoll. Like a ragdoll.
Like a rag doll. I mean, initially when I saw it, I thought it was fake. I thought that it wasn't real. I thought it was like a dummy. You know, this woman, this girl was the victim, was being beaten like that, and it actually turned out to be real. What is wrong with people, Shelly? I mean, what's going on with our youth?
Wow, what's going on with our youth? I think they are crazier than their parents. Literally, I think, and I'm going to qualify that, not just crazy. I think they are more and more evil. A lot of these youth, young people have zero or very little, just basic moral training. They don't have that instilled in them. There were several fights that I saw at least over the last 3 or 4 days or so. And when you had the adults doing it, what do you think the children are learning? If it's okay for the adults, there's this violence streak. I've said this on the show before, and some of you might be upset with me. I don't care. I really don't. But I, as a Black woman, very familiar with Black culture, even though my Black card has been torn up, I don't know how long ago.
Mine too, Shelly.
There is a violent streak in, I'm going to say, much of Black culture today.
For sure.
There's a violent streak in much of Black culture today. Be upset with me. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, agreed 100%. I did not have to go to great schools to figure out what the demographic of it. But of course, I just said, you know what? Let me see what the primary demographic is, because it's Missouri. So it could be, it could be different. 97% Black, okay? 97% Black. We have a problem in our culture. When you have a young girl beating somebody like that, y'all, we used to get in fights all the time. Let me tell you something. I used to get into fights. I come from Brooklyn, New York, and I have gotten in fights. But when you see a young girl take a girl like that and bang her on that, like, that is something outside of a movie. And I'm sorry, Black people, I know y'all don't like us to say this, but yes, it's y'all. You do not reproduce what you want to be. You reproduce what you are. Let me say that one more time. You do not reproduce what you want to be. You reproduce what you are. And those little girls, exactly a reflection of Black culture. Yep. Period.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't want to agree, but I agree with you, ladies. And honestly, I think there's something much deeper here. I mean, we all are pro-life, and when a baby is not even safe in her mother's womb, when we go from, these people shouting their abortions, pushing this death culture, then we wonder why you have these youth acting out in this way. They do not value life at all. They don't value it anymore. There's a darkness, a very heavy darkness over the youth right now. And we have to keep, our youth lifted up in prayer. I have to say it. And like you said, I mean, the Black culture, again, is driving it. It's leading this darkness, this negativity, this criminality.
Two things about that video that were, I guess I would say, equally horrifying is that the idea, the mindset, like you all have been saying, there's no fear of death. Death is glorified a lot in Black culture. I mean, you get more people attending a funeral than you do at the church sometimes, right? And so death, to me, in my never to be humble opinion, death is glorified. That's number one. And number two, the men that were standing around watching it and recording it, where's the testosterone? The men normally would stop something like that.
Exactly.
They stood around, they virtually cheered it on and recorded it.
Yeah, and it makes me so angry, because these are the same people that want to be in, like, everything. They want to be accepted into everything. They want to, and the culture, they want you to accept them just the way that they are. Let me tell you something. We used to have fights, you guys, and the goal of the fight was to win the fight. The goal of the fight was never to hurt somebody or damage them or to put them in the
kill them.
It killed them. And this is what girls are doing. This is what
No, girls. Right. You're right. But
I would beat the snot out of my daughter. I wish she would. I wish she would. Y'all wouldn't. She wouldn't even have to be. Matter of fact, y'all have to put her in jail to keep her away from me because I would beat her so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that it's women and females. You know, because and I know people may say this is a tough way to connect this, but we're seeing with the females, with the girls, a degradation of the body. Yeah. So when you have, you know, this culture of, if changing your nose, changing your bottom, you know, breast implants, all of this fake, changing the body at the drop of a hat, then you start to become numb to what it takes to do something to the body. You know, whether it's not just, damaging it, changing your body, just deforming your body and things like that, to killing somebody, to violence.
Yeah.
They don't value it because it's pushed in culture that you can do whatever you want with it, as far as, just plastic surgery, with drug use. Yeah. All of this is pushed. And believe me, it hits the subconscious, where now these girls, they don't value their bodies, they don't value their lives, they don't do any of it.
Right. Yeah. Just like again, the other 2 or 3 clips that I've seen over the last few days, the spring break brawl, right? Yeah. Those were mostly what I saw, at least what I saw in that clip.
No,
they were
it
mostly
was
women. Mostly Black women that I saw. Now, I did see one where there was some mostly Caucasian young boys or whatever on the beach in the spring break as well. And then, not to mention the, I think the basketball game, the LSU, the team, when they broke out in the fight on the court. I mean, again, the instinct nowadays is just violence. Yeah. Violence. Nobody is teaching children. Well, let me take that back. Supposedly they are, with all of these wraparound services that like we have in Baltimore, but really no one is teaching conflict resolution, number one, and just proper communication. No one is teaching how to de-escalate. Of course there might be some fights, but this, again, over the last few years, I've seen it more and more, and I've been saying it. I don't want to admit it either. It doesn't bring me any glory to have to admit that largely in Black culture, largely today, is violence.
Because there's no consequence. I know we push here, especially in Baltimore, conflict resolution, de-escalation training. No, mama and daddy is going to whoop your behind. You come home. And let me tell you something. My mama and my daddy, no matter what, like if I got into a fight with somebody, y'all remember, like if you got into a fight with somebody, your mama walked you down to the parents' home and y'all had to talk about it.
Had to make up and all that stuff.
Like you said, and it's not just, and another thing we can probably, it's drawing from, is the lack of gender roles. Yeah. These women now are so masculine. The young girls are so masculine. I mean, the femininity is not there like it used to be in, the years as we were coming up. Femininity is supposed, you weren't going to fight. You got in little fights and stuff, but now it's just taken a whole entire different life. Yeah. It's because we're pushing these women to be much more masculine. There's no masculine figure in their homes. And so the women, these moms, are overcompensating. The pendulum has swung way to the wrong side because there's no masculine
balance
there to balance it. And we're seeing the repercussions of this.
Yeah,
it's coming out.
And I'll add one more thing. Again, I'm talking about particularly with Black culture, not exclusively, but this is what I've seen more and more. If it's a white person that they're fighting, they are going to the death. They are going to try to rip this white person's heart and brain out, literally. That's what they're fighting like gladiators in a sense, because this rage and this race-filled CRT and white people are, racist, and this has built up in at least 2, maybe 3 generations, and now it is coming home to roost. And I will say again, it brings me no glory to say this. Black people today, Black culture, I'll say, is largely violent. And
Yeah.
Lord help the white person that is directed towards.
Well, they so stupid because chances are if the white person is going to a school with those animals, then they white trash anyway. So they probably have the same experiences. They probably are not well off economically. They probably have not experienced any of the privilege that the media has told you that these poor white people have had. And you're going to sit up there and like beat them like that. Like, I'm so angry and so disgusted. Like, people need to really start pulling their children out of public school. Seriously.
Yeah.
These people are animals. These little girls and these little boys are animals. Yes, I said it and I will say it again. When you act like that, you are an animal, and y'all need to live. We need SROs. We need school resource officers. We need police officers in the school. No children should have to deal with that. No teachers should have to deal with that. And when the teachers start walking out and when people start pulling their kids out of public school, then maybe y'all will do something different.
Yeah. And like you said, Shelly, like you mentioned, again, we're not seeing the balance between male and female. You have men out there or boys watching this, not interceding and getting in there and stopping it. And it's because of this feminine energy. I mean, it used to be where men didn't like get off watching women fight.
No.
They were like, "Oh, you stop this nonsense. We're gonna
Right.
break this up. You guys can't, fight like this." Now they're cackling and laughing along, watching it. It's feminine energy in these boys. And they're not doing anything about it because they don't have any masculine or male figures in their lives to say, "Hey, the reason the way men, generally act in situations like this, not that feminine energy looking about, loving the thrill of them fighting." It's sad. It's really sad.
The dicks are chicks and the chicks are dicks. I mean, every damn thing is reversed.
For
Right.
sure.
And I want to talk about, as you mentioned, Shelly, they're fighting on the sports teams now. Women's basketball. I wanted to talk about that. This was this weekend. South Carolina played the LSU. And a brawl broke out right on the court. I have the video here.
Their entire season. They should be done for the entire season. They should be
intentional foul.
They just start all out brawl.
Eject the entire team. Don't eject six of them. Inject the entire team.
And quickly, things escalate on both sides. Both coaching staffs coming out to try to pull their players away.
Down. It used to be that sports was about character, downplaying your ego, especially team sports, right? Character building and strength and things like that, and being a good loser, if you will, or whatever that means. Now, not only do we have things like this, but the coaches, that coach for LSU, what's her name? Mulkey. I think her name is Mulkey, Kim Mulkey. She's been controversial anyway. She really is. I think you need to look to her and you see why her team is like that. Now, the FCS, whatever, the South Carolina girl did nudge or hit that girl first, right? But it used to, where were the coaches? The refs should have been out there, number one, break it up, stop, whatever. Everything is upside down now. Now sports and these college sports, professional sports, it's all about ego and bravado, and I'm going to beat you down. And it's just reckless. The coaches, that coach, Kim Mulkey, is reckless, I think she is too. She eggs on this stuff. I really believe that.
Yeah. And I mean, because the players, just like kids, know that they have no consequences. You don't get out. We used to see this in like pro ball, and the big men or just start fighting or whatever, and then people break it up or whatever. But it is just so disheartening for me to see these young ladies behave and act like this, and it's like you don't have any consequences. I mean, like, I'm liable, like they couldn't be me because I'm liable to cancel the entire rest of the season.
I would have done. Cancel it for the rest of the season.
Like, y'all have messed with with the right person, because I would have canceled the entire season for both teams, because I don't know what y'all think or where y'all think y'all at, but we will not accept this. And y'all don't understand that you're setting a precedent. Like, now this is going to be like the thing that they do.
And then sportsmanship. I want to acknowledge we do have a super chatter here. Woke Vaccine says, not rich, but love from a 55 white Aussie.
Hey,
thank you. Thank you.
Logan, love you all, and DT. Oh, thank you so much.
45 is my guy.
Yes,
thank
you. Indeed. Yeah, you guys are right. And speaking of his name, it made me think of something. We were talking about this earlier. You know, some people are speculating that this violence that we're seeing all across the world really maybe have something to do with that sticky icky that came out about 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago now? Or, 3?
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I don't think so. I'm not saying I know one way or the other. I just don't tend to believe that. I really think it has more to do with the lack of character, morals, just good teaching values that has been really in the last 2 or 3 generations. A lot of these young people have grown up really doing what they wanted to do. They had no boundaries. They were told, oh, we love you no matter what you do. You're super and you're awesome. And, they got trophies just for showing up. So they had the mindset, their unformed and not well-formed minds are, I can do and be anything that I want to anybody. And it's no big deal. So I think it's more of that than it is the, what do you call it? The sticky icky.
Yeah, I agree with Shelly. But it is kind of fun to keep, to laugh at the sticky icky.
Well, who knows? I mean, really, honestly, we've been lied to so much about this sticky icky. We have been lied to about how the origin of it. And we've been lied to about why they do, what the effectiveness of it, what it did, what it wouldn't do, what it would do. Who honestly knows? At this point, I wouldn't put anything past anything. Who knows what comes out 10 years from now, 20 years from now regarding this whole thing? All we can do is just, pray about it, really. Because who knows? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But it is kind of funny.
Yeah. So I want to keep moving on. I want to also talk tonight about the race in North Carolina.
Woo!
Yes. So with 8 months until Election Day, our boy, North Carolina's Lieutenant Governor, prayerfully soon to be Governor, Mark Robinson.
Uncle Rob.
Yes. He is neck and neck with the Democrat candidate. I believe his name is Josh Stein.
Uncle Rob.
Yes. Did I say his name wrong?
What do you say? How do you spell it? I thought it was
Uncle.
Go ahead. We'll figure it out.
I just said Uncle Rob.
Oh no, I thought it was Mark Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, Uncle Rob.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Uncle Rob. Even better.
Yeah, this guy is off the chain. I want you guys to see this video that's been going viral with Mark Robinson, where he is no apologies with him. What you see is what you get. He's vocal about his faith. He's vocal about this whole trans agenda, the trans mafia he's pushing back against. Take a look at this.
I love it.
2 genders. Ain't nothing but men and women.
Period.
Get every word of this here. Get every word of this. You can go to the doctor and get cut up. You can go down to the dress shop and get made up. You can go down there and get drugged up.
Amen.
At the end of the day, you were just a drugged up, dressed up, made up, cut up, man or woman. You ain't changed what God put in you, that DNA. You can't transcend God's creation. I don't care how hard you try. The transgender movement in this country, if there's a movement in this country that is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist, it is the transgender movement.
Amen.
Christians to start standing up and being unafraid to tell the truth. Come after me if you want to. I don't care. You want my head? Here it is right here. Dragging our kids down into the pit of hell, trying to teach them that mess in our schools. That ain't got no place at no school.
Period.
+2 don't equal transgender.
Nope.
It equals 4. You need to get back to teaching them how to read instead of teaching them how to go to hell.
Oh.
Amen.
I said it, not mean it.
I just got saved all over again. Hallelujah. Let the church say.
He is not playing around. And where's the lie? Where is
none
the lie?
detected.
Let me look for it. Let me see. Let me look for it.
None detected.
But there's a but. Where's the faith-based community for this man? I mean, he should be winning in North Carolina. It shouldn't be neck and neck. He should be way ahead of the Democrat challenger right now. What's going on, Shelley? Why isn't he doing much better with a faith? In this climate, he's a Black guy. He's a faith-based man. What's going on?
Yeah. I think part of what's going on, like we see in other swing states, sometimes over the years, they may go blue or purple or red. I think North Carolina is in one of those phases where it's not quite a swing state right now. It was some years ago, I remember, but it's not quite anymore. I think this is an effect of you got leftists leaving the states where they trashed, moving to these southern states and messing them up. He should have more support. I think he's going to do much better. The polls are still a little early, but I think it's a political movement of the leftists and the progressives moving out of places where they destroyed, going somewhere else and destroying again. The key word here is destruction, because that is what they do, no matter where they go.
Yeah.
Crystal, I want to get your thoughts on him. Why is someone like Raphael Warnock, a minister as well, actually a pro-life minister, pro-choice abortion minister in Georgia, he's won his candidacy twice, but someone like him is not. We don't see the momentum behind him in somewhere like North Carolina.
Yeah, because he won't behave. He will not fall in line. Like, he will not fall in line. The fact of the matter is conservatives have some issues with courage. And I mean, and you put a guy up like him, like, so here's the thing. Like, I do believe that, like, I know uncles and I know family members that talk just like him, but they are harmless as doves. Like, they're not hateful, but they are defending the gospel. Do I think that he's going to, do I think that he hates transgender? No, I actually think that he loves transgender because he's willing to tell them the truth. And if they focus on that, if you get North Carolina to focus on the truth that he's spouting and not particularly the manner in which he's spouting, but the media has jumped on this and made, like, kind of twisted everything that he said, made him into some weird conspiracy theorist, made him into some kind of hateful guy. But if you remember, they did the exact same thing to Barack Obama. You remember Barack Obama's pastor? And you remember, what's his name? Oh, I can't think of it.
Jeremiah Wright.
And you remember Jeremiah Wright was talking just like this about white people. Like, this is a cultural thing. But the good thing about Uncle Rob is I know that his is biblical based. And I know that even though it may seem like he's spewing off these things, it's not hateful at all. And I think that conservatives just need to get courageous enough to defend what he's saying, because it's just the truth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you mentioned, it's the truth.
Yeah.
And not only is it the truth, but in a Bible Belt area like North Carolina, like South Carolina, like used to be Georgia, it's a biblical truth.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to have a strong Christian background in these areas, and they aren't coming out to support people like him. I mean, we're being told that boys can become girls and girls can become boys. We're being told that it's okay for these kids to strip, to destroy their bodies, take off the girls taking off their breasts, boys, basically putting their penises through meat grinders, turning it into some type of crazy vagina. And here you have someone, and this is being pushed mainstream. It's being pushed instead of people saying rejecting it. Someone like him who says, no, this isn't the truth. It hasn't been the truth for the millennia that we've been here, but they in turn reject him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And conservatives have to get enough courage to defend exactly what he's saying without the manner in which, like, he's passionate. He's a Black preacher. Like, I'm telling you, anybody that knows uncles and fathers and family members that sound exactly like him, they are the most loving people because they have the courage to tell people the truth. And we need to have the courage to uplift people like him, uplift people like Donald Trump, uplift the men in our society that don't have no cut cards. I'm sorry. They don't have no cut cards.
Exactly. The media does have a play in here as well, part in here as well to play, because they are trying to ever so slightly make this man out to be quote unquote an Uncle Tom. Yeah. They're trying to do that. They're trying to, compare him a little bit. He's like a Clarence Thomas. They want him to scare you like he's a boogeyman. So the media has a place that they're playing in here, a part that they're playing, and people just need to say, no, it's not true. Even if you were not a Republican, even if you don't want to call yourself a conservative, most people, 9 out of 10 people know damn well that children do not get to make decisions to mutilate themselves. Exactly. They know this. They know that boys are boys and girls are girls. They know this, but the people are even afraid because they're afraid to be singled out and called racist and transphobic and misogynist, all this other stuff. We just have to say, no, enough is enough. We're not going to take it anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, the world has gone so crazy, so topsy-turvy. We just had I think it was a National Women's Day, was last week.
Yeah.
And you know who they uplift? They uplift Dylan Mulvaney. With
Lady Gaga. I saw that.
You have them pushing on, local magazines and things, these trans women, these fake women, they are pushing this. How is that even possible? And then you have someone like him who's trying to uplift, real women, biological women, the only women that we've ever known, and he gets ridiculed and called out for being hateful.
Yeah, but they do it all the time. They call it conspiracy theorists, hateful, all these names to get conservatives to somehow shy away, because conservatives are good people and they don't want to seem like, oh my God, I don't want to seem like I hate these people. But the fact of the matter is it's not up for us to hate. God hates these people. And we have to hate the sin that God hates. I mean, it's just the truth. Like, God does not like that behavior. And so you have to decide, are you going to stand on the truth, which is the gospel and which is in the Bible, or you're going to worry about these people's feelings? Because the fact of the matter is that these people are going to die a really, really miserable death, and the blood is going to be on the Christians' hands.
Yeah. And not only that, but I think it even goes a little further than this. The idea that, the left is trying to change language. So it's no longer trans wasn't good enough, trans man, trans woman. No, you have to be called a woman. Dylan Mulvaney just changed his passport, or was his birth certificate. Now it says female. I mean, this is becoming ridiculous, but we know why they're doing it. They're doing it because eventually they want to make it so that, these people can go about, no one will ever, there'd be no record that these people were born a certain sex and have transformed or changed to a different sex. This is what they're doing.
But and look at what's his name. I don't even know his biological name. Rachel Levine, because I just don't know his name. But he parades around like a woman in the military, and other people in the military have done these crazy videos, cross-dressing. So even the institutions that are once revered have been watered down, made to look and made a mockery of. But now you have young people on social media 24/7. So these are the people that they're looking up to, who are really corrupting them and corrupting every damn thing in society.
Right. And corrupting the meaning of woman, corrupting the meaning of man. It was one thing if you want to be trans, whatever you want to be, fine. That's your body, you're an adult. Now, even though they're trying to do it to children,
Right.
you're an adult, mutilate your body, change your body, do whatever you want. But don't try to corrupt the definition of what I am, of what a man is. And this is what they're trying to do. And you know what? It's because of this whole transhumanism. They want to become the idea of, androgyny. They want to get rid of gender altogether. We're seeing it. We just talked about it earlier. There were many women at the Oscars red carpet this weekend who just looked like androids. It was this one woman. She was bald head, and I mean bald, no eyebrows, no hair, nothing. Had they always got the what I call the the Manitar ring. This is all part of the toolkit, for this type of crazy freak look. And this is what we're seeing. Men, you don't know if it's a man or a woman. They're starting to look more feminine. And the crazy thing about it is they try to make it seem like this is the fringe. I talk to some of my less political friends, and they say, "Oh, that's just the fringe. That's not really mainstream." It is the mainstream.
Yeah. And it always starts as the fringe. Like
I was going to say exactly
that way. Because you remember we used to have, one or two here, there, like, one or two gays, one, two, and that's how they get you is that they slowly keep moving the goalposts until now everybody is saying that, oh, this is normal. Exactly. But I'm sorry, you guys will use all the medicine in the world. You will use all of the surgery in the world, and you cannot make that X a Y or that Y an X. I'm so sorry. They will exhume your body, Mr. Transgender, Mrs. Transgender, and they will be able to say what your daddy made you.
Exactly. And one thing, this is one of the reasons why I say it's more akin to a religion, because talking about fringe movements, every religion started as a fringe movement. And then look how quickly people converted. Think about this transgender movement. The left has been around much longer than the transgender movement itself. But in the last, 10 years, look how quickly it has consumed and taken over, if you will, the minds of millions of people. It's not a fringe anymore. It's a religion. It's part of the religion.
Oh, speaking of that, take a look at this. You want to talk about religion?
All right. I pledge my heart. To the rainbow. Of the not so typical gay camp. One camp. Full of pride. Indivisible. With affirmation and equal rights for all. Watch your head.
It's a lie. Because if I bring my cross and I start praying for them folks, they're gonna run me out of there. They say it's equal rights, and they say we love everybody until I bring my Bible and I say your maker said that this is wrong. Then it's no equal right.
But look, that man was Pete Buttigieg's husband. That is Pete Buttigieg's husband. He is a camp counselor at a camp. And that is what he's doing with the children.
Petey juices. And it's still under debate if he's even gay. Old boy done had a wife and some kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
First of all, I don't even say couples, quote unquote, same-sex couples. I don't even say that they're husband and wife. I know legally in whatever state they can claim to be, that's not a marriage. They might be dating or boyfriend and boyfriend or girlfriend and girlfriend. Okay, whatever. But again, this is a religion. Every count of religion. Exactly. These are the rituals that are associated with religions. That's why this is at least one of the reasons why I say leftism is a religion. Transgender, this transgender model is just an iteration that feeds into the whole thing. This is it. This is just one way to make converts.
Yeah. I do want to acknowledge we do have another super chatter here. All right. Let me see here. This is Justin. He says, didn't Robert play a child abuser in the movie This Boy's Life? At least Trump doesn't get paid to be someone else. Stick to what you're good at. Wishing the three of you a fantastic week. Stay blessed. Yeah, he's played. I mean, now that I think about it, Robert De Niro has played some grimy characters, and he's tripping about Donald Trump. He can't play Donald Trump because he has a black soul or whatever. Let's get out of here. But back to this. This is crazy. And I want to, everyone, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't want to cast a broad stripe over the gay community. You know, I think this Pete Buttigieg's husband is way different than what I've seen. You know, I follow Gays Against Groomers online, and I love what they're doing. There are people within that are gay. I won't even call it a community. I'm just going to say, you know, there are gay people, homosexuals that do not support that. You know, that is an agenda. You know, there are some people, again, I don't have to agree with the lifestyle, you know, I do not, but there are some people, some gay, some lesbian, whatever, homosexual, who understand, you know, that's their preference, but that is crazy.
Yeah, I was looking to see, because I think it was Tucker Carlson that was like, he thought he was dating women and so I'm trying to see, but you know, they probably you know, buried that story, but it was something that Tucker Carlson had.
I really don't care. I just know that is again, it's a religion, a false religion. It's a religion, and they are making more and more converts.
Yeah, we do have another super chatter. I want to shout out. Shaylin Flores says, these pastors better brush up on the letters to those churches in Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
Won't support the gospel preachers, but can't wait to give Fanny a pulpit and lift her up, knowing she's out here fornicating with a married man.
Oh, no. It's so weird. You're so right. Like, Shalon, like, and it's so, and y'all, I'm sorry. It's the blacks. It's the blacks. It's the blacks. It's the black churches that it doesn't matter. You could be fornicating. You could be doing any kind of sin, but as long as you vote Democrat and you keep signing them checks, they don't care what you are. And it's so sad that we have sold ourselves. We have prostituted our community for checks that we don't even get, because when Democrats are in office, they don't help us. They don't help us at all.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said, I mean, money is a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
Money is a very powerful stimulant to some, and they will sell their souls. They will sell their souls.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't believe the Bible that says that we serve a king who he's rich in houses and land. And he, you know, he is all providing for us. You putting your trust in man. Like the Bible tells us that we need to put our trust in God, and yet and still they just keep chasing a dollar, and they're gonna have to pay for that. They're gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that does it for us tonight. Finally, any last thoughts, ladies? What stories are you following, or are there any topics that you feel like our viewers should kind of pay attention to? I'll start with you, Crystal.
Oh my God, I'm following this story. It was going down in Haiti, you guys. Oh, we may have to talk about that, because the whole world is on fire. Like the whole world, it's like daddy is not home. And when I say daddy, we are the most powerful country in the world. And if we are not in order, then naturally all the other places are going to fall out of order. And we just have to pray that God just, you know, like, I don't know what he's trying to do, but I mean, the world is groaning for the arising of the people of God.
Yeah, absolutely. Shelly, any stories, any topics you're following or you want our viewers to look into?
I'm trying to stay on top of, or at least get more information about these children who are being, what I'm calling, kidnapped from their parents by the state, by CPS, and taken cross state lines or away from their parents and having them transition in these, I don't know, so-called gender affirming clinics or whatever they're called. But that's really been on my mind a little bit of late.
All right. Yeah, same here. I'm following, you know, we had the trans agenda. we saw that. We know how the left was pushing the whole global warming thing. The next thing that I think we all need to watch out for is the anti-car, anti-driving agenda. Look into that in your local areas. The federal government is really pushing funds into a lot of Democrat jurisdictions and to a lot of cities to get rid of cars. Mark my words, guys, within 10 years or so, we're going to be penalized for even driving. They're already pushing some of these things down the pipe, taxing individuals for having vehicles. And it's just a couple years away. They're trying to take away any freedom we have. As you know, the United States, the left hates America. What's so more American than the automobile? And so that's, and again, it's a sign of freedom. You get in your car, you can go wherever you like. They're already pushing these vehicles. They GPS you everywhere you go. They're trying to take away gas, and then they're trying to take away cars eventually. So definitely follow the story I'm following. All right. So that does it for us tonight. Again, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back here on Wednesday. If you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time we go live. Again, we are on here on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. But sometimes we decide to pop on here if there's a story that we're following, or if we know this is something we want to bring to you guys. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're always alerted when we go live. Again, we are not just a podcast. We are a group of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people. We're starting a movement. This is a movement amongst each of us. We choose freedom, so that means there's a target on our back. And so subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right. So again, until Wednesday, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
Bye.